Hi ladies, I'm doing this vlog on postpartum depression, uh, postnatal, uh, postnatal depression, and baby blues, what they want to call it. Please watch this video entirely if you are suffering or you know somebody who is suffering, because it's not a joke to suffer in silence. I had my daughter 18 years ago, and I have, she was my first, and I had her 18 years ago, and 18 years ago, uh, it, postpartum depression wasn't recognized as it is today, and I suffered such horrible postpartum depression for, the worst was about a year, and it lasted up until 2 years, and I was medicated for it and whatnot. Excuse me. And I'll tell you my signs and symptoms of it. So it started when I was about 7 months pregnant. Let me tell you also too, I was 16 years old when I was pregnant with her. So that had a lot to do with it also. I was young and whatnot. So, but it doesn't just happen to 16-year-olds. It happens to 40-year-olds. It happens to 35-year-olds. It happens to 25-year-olds. Any age group it happens to. And it happens to doctors. It happens to people who are rich, people who are poor, people who come from every aspect of life. So it can happen to anybody, and you can be perfectly fine during your pregnancy, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, and then you have a baby and it hits you, and sometimes it doesn't hit you right away. It can, and I'm also, to let you know, a registered nurse. It doesn't just hit you, let's say, the first week or the second week. Well, the baby blues, you'll have a bit of hormones and whatnot, and usually majority of the time women will cry a little bit as their hormones start regulating and whatnot, and that's normal. That's not postpartum depression. But if it continues 2 weeks and beyond, it is time to seek help. I don't care if if it's slightly depression, whatnot, it can lead to more serious postpartum depression, and even worse, postpartum psychosis. That's more rare, very much more rare, but postpartum depression isn't. And when I had my first child, I suffered traumatically, where I was 165 when I gave birth, and by the time she was 2 months old, she's 18 now. Not sure if I said that, but I think I did. She's 18 years old now, and um, I wanted to run away when she was 2 weeks old. Literally, I thought she hated me. I was anxious all the time. I would, when she would be sleeping, I wouldn't sleep. I would pace the floors, walk back and forth. Just the thought of putting food in my mouth made me want to, TMI, feel like I was going to throw up. Um, I couldn't be on the bus with other people. I would sit with her in the stroller on the bus and look around me and think, oh my God, I'm crazy. I'm not normal. All these people around me, it felt like everything was going in slow motion. Everybody around me is normal. Do they feel what I feel? Am I the only one that is abnormal? And even though back then it was highly not recognized as it is today, there is so much support, ladies. So if you are suffering with this, please, Please do not suffer in silence. Get help. Do not feel that you are going to be judged. Do not feel that you are going to be downgraded as a mother. No, because when you go and you get help, you're bettering yourself and the well-being of your baby. Because when you are healthy enough to take care of your child. When you are suffering depression, postpartum depression, it is hard to take care of yourself, let alone a baby. If you have a good support team, husband, mother, mother-in-law, sister, brother, cousin, friends, family, let them know what's going on. Tell them what you feel, and don't feel shy, because this is a real condition. Like, if somebody has diabetes and they don't take their insulin, what's going to happen? They are going to get sick. It's the same thing with depression, but I'm talking about postpartum depression. It is the same thing. If it is not treated, if there's no counseling, if there is no support, it can and it will escalate, and it can get seriously dangerous. I'm not trying to scare any ladies out there. Please, I'm not at all. I'm just trying to let you know that do not be scared to get help. I went down to 92 pounds, thought the baby hated me. I would hold her, she would cry, someone else would pick her up, and bam, she would stop crying, and I would start bursting into tears and saying, oh my God, she hates me, my baby doesn't like me. And there was times where I would look at her and say, wow, I love this little angel so much, but I don't want to hold her. I don't want to be around her. And then I thought, oh my God, I'm going crazy. Like, who thinks these things about their children? Or I'm just going to leave her in her bassinet, and I'm going to get up, and I'm going to put my shoes on, and I'm going to leave, and I'm never coming back. And then it would make me feel even more worse, because I would think, oh my God, I seriously am nuts. Who in the right mind thinks these things? And back then, I never knew nothing about postpartum depression. Nobody told me anything, not my mother, not doctors, nobody. So one day, I was on my breaking point where the anxiety was so severe. And I thought, you know what? I need to seek help. Something's wrong with me. I'm seriously crazy. So I went to the ER, and the doctor said to me, here's a prescription. You just have the baby blues. Go home and take these pills. Well, my daughter is already 3 months now, and baby blues last 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more, but 3 months? So I went home, I took this medication. It did help a bit until it continued, and I said, you know what? I need further help. And I did this all on my own at 16 years old, nobody guiding me. I was not a nurse at the time, obviously. And I went and I said I need to see a psychiatrist. So because I was under 18, I could see a child psychiatrist. So I went to see this amazing psychiatrist. Well, I saw one, and he kind of just fobbed me off. And then the second one I seen said to me, listen, you are not crazy. Because if you were crazy, you would not seek help. You're seeking help because you are aware of what you are feeling. You are aware that what you are feeling is not normal. and he helped me tremendously. And it lasted severely for a year. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was brutal for a year. I don't know how I look back, and I don't know how I got through it. But I did eventually. And then the second year, slowly, month by month, it started subsiding, and I started stopping the medication, the antidepressants that I was on. And yeah, so the signs are loss of appetite, your mind starts racing, you feel like you're not in control of your body, crying uncontrollably. And I'm not talking about just a little bit of crying, you just had a baby and you're emotional, and your lack of sleep and whatnot. And also two factors are if you've been in an abusive relationship in the past, you are in an abusive relationship, you've had trauma in your life, any sort of trauma, you're young, you're financially unstable, you have a history in your family of depression, you have a history of depression in the past, or are suffering depression. And also, too, it can happen to somebody that has no history of depression, has a stable job, stable marriage, lots of support from their family, but you're more at risk when you do have those other factors that I was talking about. But it can happen to anybody. Do not feel shameful to get help, because the more you suffer in silence, the more you are the more you are hurting yourself and the well-being of your baby. And you want the best for your child, and you want the best for yourself. And like I said before, no one's going to judge you. They want to help you. So please get help if you are suffering. I just had a baby 8 weeks ago, and she was born at 32 weeks, and she was lucky to come home after 2 weeks. And I thought to myself, you know what? When she came home, I was like on this high, like, oh my gosh, she's home. And I was just in awe for like a month and a half. And then the last couple of weeks or 3 weeks, I started to feel that I'm not myself, and I am slowly starting to worry, and it's freaking me out that I'm starting to get postpartum depression. So I made an appointment today with a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and I was lucky because I've been followed by a psychiatrist through my pregnancy, because I have a history of postpartum depression, and I did not want to take a chance in case I did relapse and get postpartum depression this time around too. So I saw my psychiatrist today, and she's following me, and my psychologist is too. And she said, you know what, you're going to be okay. And knowing that I have that support, knowing that I can call her at any time, message her or call her any time of the night, makes me feel more secure. So please, ladies, please seek help if you are feeling any sort of depression before birth or after birth. Take care.